show up over there either.
Take two.
I love it.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, Coach, I know you came over here from Kenmore, your last stop. Can you compare the two schools? I mean, it's hard to get players out there, I know, because my kids went there and they played everything. And
Sure. I actually spent 16 years teaching in the Kenmore district.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of good kids over in the Kenmore district. I actually thought it would be kind of similar when I got here, and it's a lot different, to be honest with you. We got a large group of kids coming out, a large group of kids willing to sacrifice and make, they've totally bought into what we're trying to do. And, we went from, I think last year we had at Kenmore, we had 37 kids, freshman through senior, and I think this year we have 78. So we got a lot more kids and a lot more dedicated kids. We haven't had attendance issues and so on. So I'm looking forward to it.
78 is the biggest number I've seen since I've been covering Barberton.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, it's
good.
I'm used to seeing maybe 40-some kids on the sideline.
Sure.
How many returning seniors do you have?
We have 11 seniors. That's actually our smallest class. Actually, one of the seniors brought in a their freshman team picture. I think we counted 38 kids on the freshman class. So, obviously.
A lot of attrition.
Yeah. So, we'll keep it going, though. Hopefully, I think we have close to 30 incoming freshmen playing football. So, hopefully, we can keep that number pretty high as the years go on.
A young team, but your schedule's pretty favorable this year. I mean, you got rid of 3 parochial schools in Steubenville.
Sure.
And you pick up north. How do you see the schedule?
Yeah, Mr. Culbertson worked hard. I mean, that was his goal this year to, get a schedule that was going to be competitive for us. And I tell the kids, it's been a long time. These kids haven't really got to experience Barberton football winning, so they don't really understand the tradition of Barberton football. We want to bring that back. I said the seniors get an opportunity this year with this schedule to compete at a high level, and they're ready to face a challenge. So hopefully we can go through the schedule, start with Cotton Falls, and compete. That's our goal, is to be competitive this year.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been doing it 10 years, and I've seen 3 wins is the most every year.
Sure.
And I'm hoping that breaks this year.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Okay, guys, question I asked you before: who in this schedule do you really want to beat?
Number 1.
Gotto Falls.
Cuyahoga Falls?
Absolutely.
That is the big one every year.
Yes.
And it's even going to be there next year. How do you feel about going to Suburban next year? How important is it to get a winning season this year headed into a real tough Suburban league?
Sure. It's a real good Suburban league, actually. Especially with the addition of Aurora. And then you got, you already have Medina Highland in there. Talmadge is going to be, competitive like they always are. Copley. So it's definitely, you can go from a schedule that they had last year, with Walsh and some of those.
Yep.
But I'm telling you what, you're replacing them again the following year. So hopefully, once again, we keep those numbers up so that we're ready to compete. Now, next year, we flip it. We got Cuyahoga Falls week 3, and we'll have Alliance week 1. And then I believe, I'm not sure if it's finalized, but I believe we have Coventry week 2.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard Coventry. And that should be that could be a rivalry.
Sure, local. Yeah.
Anybody really standing out in training this year?
I think we've, as a team, we've really worked really hard. I think we had really good turnouts this year in the weight room. I give the challenge to these kids all the time. I told them when I came in the spring, I was told that I'd be lucky to have 8 to 15 kids in a weight room. And in the spring, when baseball and track was going on, we had, upper 30s and the 40s, and when that ended, we were in the 60s. Pretty consistently upper 50s, 60s every day in training. Yeah. And then I was told in the summertime if we did morning workouts, kids wouldn't show up, and we kind of use that for fuel. To tell these kids, there are people out there that are doubting you guys and think that you guys don't have good work ethic. And I'll tell you right now, these guys have been putting in time. And it's paid dividends, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's paid dividends. In 2 days, I tell them this is hell week. We've been going at it since, last Friday. 2 days getting up at 7:30 in the morning. We go till 1, sometimes a little after 1, with conditioning at the end. And it's for the guys that have been there, which has been most of them.
Right.
It's been pretty good on them. I think that their legs are underneath them, and I think they'll be ready to go Tuesday. They'll be hyped up for Tuesday's scrimmage, and so.
The main problem for Barberton the last couple of years is the big play, and you guys probably know the end around. You know, he turns the corner and he's gone. You've been working on that.
Ben, you answer it.
Right.
He's a linebacker.
I mean, our outside backers are looking really good. I mean, our whole linebacker, our whole defense, I think, is looking really good. And we've just been working every day, working on keeping contained, just working on everything. We haven't really focused more on keeping the outside more than anything else, but it just goes into what we do every single day.
Okay.
I think we have good overall team speed on defense.
Yeah.
We got some little
Really
defensive
fast.
linemen that can run, that are physical, that can get away with being undersized but physical. And I think we're pretty athletic defensively.
Mental discipline wise, there was a lot of games last year. You guys would be in a drive and there'd be like 3 personal fouls. I think it was, oh man. I think that's what took you out of the game with St. Thomas Aquinas. You were in a late drive and
Go ahead, Robbie, answer this one.
go ahead.
What are some things that we've been trying to
That's
do?
something that comes from the player right there.
We started yelling at each other instead of picking each other up. This year it's a whole new, different set of coaches and a whole different attitude. Last year it was, like I said, we were just yelling at each other instead of picking each other up and, get that next down, get the next ball, keep going. This year it's all new, it's all different.
I really tried to focus on really self-discipline, number one. If they jump off sides when we're conditioning, they know they got another one on their own. It's not something the coaches should be saying, you got another one. They just take off and run another one, so they got 2. I think Brandon McCall one time jumped off, I don't know, he was having a bad day of practice, and he jumped off sides on our gassers, which are 50 down, 50 back. He jumped off like 3 times. So he ran, he had to make up all those gassers. So he was running 6 gassers. By the time he'd get back, he was already up for another one. So we ran probably 15, 16 gassers that day. He probably ran 22, 23 gassers that day. So, they drop F-bombs and they drop the N-bomb. They drop those types of words in practice. They're self disciplining themselves. They're telling them, go down and give me 20 push-ups. So we're just trying to change the attitude a little bit. And I think, once again, it's been wonderful. The locker room's been clean. They've been doing all the right things, and we'll just keep it going.
That's a whole big part of it. Your line this year, offensive line.
I think I think we got a decent offensive line. I really do. I mean, we got 3 out of 5, but really 4 out of 5 returning starters. But I told them they weren't very good last year. They weren't very physical. They didn't communicate very well with each other. Potentially, we could be a pretty good offensive line. However, we have no depth. I always tell them for Friday night we need 8 guys. We need 3 subs that we feel comfortable throwing in there, and we have probably 1 right now. So either somebody that doesn't think they're an offensive lineman needs to step up and play offensive line, or we got to find some little guy that can hit somebody. But I think they're doing pretty good. I think it's coming together. Do you agree?
Yeah, we're starting to be a family, be as one, as a team.
Now, what position you playing?
Tackle.
Tackle? Offensive tackle? Defensive tackle? Both ways?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you?
Inside linebacker and tight end.
All right. I remember one of the ex-Browns once told me, most important guy in the offense, left tackle.
Sure. I always tell them it's the second highest player in the NFL behind the quarterback. So.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what else I have here. Well, how about your quarterback? Who? Somebody on the inside track?
Yeah. We had a kid moving from Talmadge, and we actually thought there'd be a pretty good competition with the kid from Talmadge and Brandon Taylor Mitchell, who Brandon Taylor Mitchell in summer basketball blew his knee out and tore his ACL.
Oh man!
So we have kind of a crazy offense going on right now. We have basically 2 offenses going on.
Okay.
Cedric Quinn in the spring said he'd be willing to try out for quarterback. He'd never played it before. He's 6'2", 6'3" kid, pretty athletic kid. Also plays receiver for us too. So when he comes in at quarterback, we do more spread in the field and gun. and we'll run out a lot. We'll more run. He's not really a thrower. He's good enough to throw and keep defenses honest. And then when we go with Colton, we're more of an I type team.
Okay. And then you're going to keep them from scrambling around back there for the life this year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like been a story the last couple of years. You didn't have a good quarterback, and but
Just get thrown in there.
he's just running for his life. Winnable games on the schedule this year. There's plenty of them. Cuyahoga Falls, that's always a good game. Springfield. I mean, you picked up Ellett.
Sure.
Ellett's the best team in the city. I don't know if they will be this year. I think they had a lot of seniors last year. How do you feel about going into that one?
I mean, we played Ellett out in Talmadge every year, so every year I coach in Talmadge, and then actually last year at Kenmore we played Ellett. Ellett's a very well coached team.
Yeah.
They're always physical, usually undersized, maybe not have the greatest athletes, but no matter what, they're always in the game. So they're all. I'll tell these guys when we go into that week, they're well coached. They're going to do what they're told to do and be disciplined. We need to do the same. Athletes, I think we're pretty athletic. We're going to match up with them pretty well, so I feel pretty comfortable.
On the other end of the spectrum, you got Akron North this year.
Sure. Yeah, obviously Akron North is always going to have a couple athletes, game breaker type athletes. I remember the one year they had the big receiver that they could basically just throw the ball up to him. He could catch the ball. Max had a tailback last year that had really good speed. Those are games that obviously we're going to go in and not gonna underestimate them. They're going to come out and hit you like anybody else. So,
Right.
We got to take every game as they come and play our hardest and limit the turnovers, limit the mistakes that we have, and play football.
Okay, for you guys, why is Cuyahoga Falls such a big rivalry? What is the big deal? Now you're 20 miles away from each other.
For me, for the most part, it's my senior year, and just that bell, bringing it home means more to me than anything else, really.
That's the bell.
That's
We've
it.
had that rivalry for
More than just a bell.
many years.
There's a lot of
It means-
black coat paints on that bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice to put a
It means
purple one
lot.
on there.
It really
Well, that
means a lot.
season, that series is pretty even, I think, ain't it?
Yeah, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been.
These guys haven't experienced it through high school, so.
Okay. Yeah, I think the last time was 3 years ago. I think we beat them at there.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Did you experience it your freshman year?
I want to say my freshman year we got it back.
Okay,
But,
that makes sense, and you would have been in 8th grade.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Every year, what everybody tells me, and I've heard this for 14 years, okay, we got a great 7th grade team, we've got a great 8th grade team, we've got a great freshman team, we got a great JV team, but when it comes, when it comes to the varsity, it just doesn't usually work. It hasn't worked out.
Sure.
Do you got comments on that?
I don't know. I mean, there's obviously some different things that can play into that. Some is, that we lose kids. That was one of my big things that, me being at the intermediate building, I'm going to make sure that I do my best to keep all those kids at Barberton. We got great school district. They're leaving for sports.
Yeah.
So they're not leaving for education. There's no reason to leave for education. We offer a great education here. So they're leaving for athletic reasons. So once we start winning, that's going to change that. And you got mental toughness. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we played Green every year out of Talmadge, and Green was always a powerhouse in middle school and youth football and things like that. But for whatever reason, when they got to high school, I don't know if the kids got soft or what, but they couldn't put it together in high school level. And I kind of say that same thing with Barberton. We lose a couple kids here and there, and we got to stay mentally tough. And we got to get in the weight room, and they did it this year. 60 guys in the weight room, I'll take that. Obviously we don't want to grow even more, but.
I mean, when I've been at Barberton, I've never had that many football players in the weight room
It was
on a
organized,
consistent
too.
basis. It really was just a few people that come in and work out, and now all the coaches are always there in the weight room working and just watching us, making sure we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, and it's not like a weight room where you just say open the door and let the kids come in. It's very structured, and they're working hard. I mean, when they're coming out of there, they're drenched in sweat. They're pushing each other. They have goals that they set. They have a sheet that they fill out, and they're trying to break their their records every month. They're trying to break a record. So, and I really think they've responded pretty well with that.
Good. Any comments up there yet, or?
Oh, boring.
No, you did introduce the boys' names, and I must have missed that part. If you
Huh?
you introduced the student athletes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have Robbie Craig over here. What's this?
Robbie Craig.
Robbie Craig, you're the
Right tackle.
tackle. And linebacker?
Yep.
You play anything on offense?
Tight end.
Tight end. Okay. Ben Richards.
And these guys were both voted on team captains. So we have 4 team captains, Ben and Robbie, and then we had 2 other team captains also voted on was Austin Nicholas and Brandon McCall.
Okay.
So
And the first game is
is it August 28th or August 29th?
29th.
I keep forgetting. August 29th.
at home.
No, it is actually away. And then we're home the following week against Springfield. 8 home games this year.
And Springfield's a big Magic Mayhem.
Yep, big
Okay.
Magic Mayhem. So hopefully it was great last year, I heard. It's going to be even bigger this year, I think.
Big
We're going to have
turnout.
team meals. We'll have team meals that we'll go and eat. Brian Canali actually donated Hoppigan Gardens eating room for the players to come every Friday and eat. Sponsored a meal, the first meal. He basically donated his workers to serve us and stuff like that. And then after we leave there, we're actually going to stop by the Mayhem, and kids are going to walk through the Mayhem, so it should be a good time.
Anything else that the community can do to help or boost the kids?
We've got great community, to be honest with you, community support. Mayor Judge donated bikes to the team. We probably have, I'd say, over 15 bikes donated. And then Mr. Ranmitz over to school made sure they got a bike rack. Actually, the kids still aren't using it yet because it just got put in yesterday. But put a bike rack up for the kids to, so we've gotten great. I mean, to be honest with you, we've gotten great responses from the community.
Barberton can draw a great crowd in the stands.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the opening weeks, and you guys probably noticed too, first 4 weeks they were packed. Then depending on how the record goes, it dwindles and dwindles.
Sure.
And then we. How important is that big crowd?
It's pretty important. Just to see, all of them to have our back, screaming, yelling, being as loud as possible. Just hearing that, running out there, and we have a decent crowd, especially that first game. And then the more we go down in the season, we get more and more and more, and hopefully this year we'll have more and more and more. So.
Hopefully a packed crowd in week 10.
Yeah, I told these guys actually yesterday we met in between 2 days and talked to them about the community and how much they support sports. I mean, this is various they love their sports here.
This is a sports
and
crazy
I told
town.
them week 1. You look back at week 1, the crowd at week 1 last year against Cuyahoga Falls. It was a pretty packed stadium. That's a big stadium and packed too. And I said, as the season goes on, if you're not winning, people don't want to come out and watch, a bunch of losing going on. Plus the weather, later in the season isn't as nice and things like that. So, you want them to come out in the rain. And if you're playing hard and competing at a high level, win or lose, Barberton community is going to support you if you're playing hard. If you're finishing strong in the fourth quarter and you drop a game, but you played hard, that happens.
And you have 8 home games.
Sure.
And how big of an advantage is that? I mean,
Yeah, it's
who
cool.
else?
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I mean, for the seniors to experience 8 home games in their stadium is going to be pretty special. So hopefully we can get them going. I told them 11 guys, man, you guys can really change things around here. So you got get a nice special opportunity to do that.
And
Do you
Good.
guys have any other comments or?
anything you want to say?
How about you guys? What's the feed? What's your guys's
No comment?
here? What do you guys?
Just like we said, Barberton's a sports town,
Sure.
and we love our Magics, and everybody pulls together to support you guys. So we're looking to you guys to bring the community together and bring the spirit so we can paint the town purple like we did years ago. And so it's all riding on you guys, and we have so much faith, and we're so proud of everything. And we're proud of Coach Gotto and the changes that he's made, so you can relay that back to your teammates.
We can guarantee this. We're going to put the work in.
Yes, we are.
I can't guarantee victories,
doubt,
right?
no doubt.
But we are going to put the work in, and you're going to get a good product on the field.
Good game.
Thank you guys. Please come back
Thanks for having us.
during the middle of the season maybe, or if you have
course.
something else exciting, please come back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey,
All right.
all right.